This video is not to promote the continuance of crime. It's for education only.
What is the prototype when you say first and second generation? That's the question I want to ask. I hear you brothers interview a lot of brothers. So when you say first generation and second generation, define what does that mean?
The baseline is usually Raymond Washington's birthday. All right, 1953. So you fall into that line, 53, 54, 50, 55, you're a founder, first generation.
In 1956, they call themselves baby Crips, but that would be the second generation.
And as I've seen a lot of you guys' videos, most of the blood identity came like in the late 70s.
Yeah, so the whole blood generation would be something different.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
So when the bebops identified with Bloods, we was here. When Kojak was saying bebop, it was just like you got the outlaws, the Inglewood families, the bishops. They was gangs, but they was not Bloods. You follow what I'm saying?
And all, yeah.
But when we got the identity, when the blood came, we was here.
$1 billion ambition.
History always repeats itself, so it's important that you educate yourself on historical facts.
Because now if I go back to 76 and think about it, they had red flags in 76. Like I say, I always tell everybody about when I went to the carnival on Adams and Normandy. When Stormy Norman made the Crip take the blue rag off his head, right? Stormy Norman from Hooper family, and the homies had red flags then. My first time ever really seeing this like this.
What year was that when Storm and Norman did that?
76.
76, okay.
I got another gang story to tell.
They were called the Bonnaroo Hunters from 74 to 76. And when they came home with the Pyroos in 76, they got cracking. And they were the original Bloods.
How does it get to what you're saying in 1974 Y.T.S. between the Bounty Hunters and the West Side Pyroos before it becomes now this larger consolidation?
Because as street times got to going on, people start adapting the blood address. Okay, I learned about it around 76 when they came home, and I started hearing them talk about the Bonnaroos.
Neil Matthews in 1976, he had a photo album of the Bonnaroos, his photo album that he brought home from Y.T.S.
They was very serious about pushing. Matter of fact, my homeboy Mario Gray.
Mario Gray claimed.
It was Mario Gray.
He was one of the guys that was having my homegirls from the street bringing red bandanas into Y.T.S. That's how hard he was pushing it. And they knew that the Power Rules, had that under wrap.
Under the red bandana that LB and Little Vince introduced to the Bounty Hunters.
You know what I'm saying? The blood thing became Bloods under the red Pyru bandana for the simple fact blood is a unity name.
In 1974 to 1976.
That's what you have to do, sometimes, my brother, you have to do is to bring out unity. Sometimes you have to let things go to make things happen.
You know what I'm saying? But first it was like Bounty Rule, the Bounty Rule brands.
I ran to Ray Boyd from Bounty Hunters.
I told Ray Boy, man, we gonna start calling you. I'm start calling you blood. You call me blood too, right? We all start calling each other blood.
Okay.
And he the first one told me when I was in YA, he came from TS. I was in YA camp. And he didn't want to introduce me to the red flag.
Right? So the Christian said, guys, we go, I was having blood, and that's what we did, in jail.
So, in mentioning Ray Boyce, that means the Pyros and Bounty Hunters was tight.
Right. We call some Bounty Rules that, we trying to do something to link us together.
The bounty hunters pushed a serious line, man. And when I mean pushed a serious line, man, I mean they did not care about nothing but that red thing, man. They were very serious. Matter of fact, I would say they were more of like on the front line, the vanguards of the Bloods.
Today, you know, you have the Inglewood families, their Bloods.
What made you say blood, man? You see what I'm saying? Man, you ask yourself in your game, what made y'all say blood? Quit lying. Ain't no first game Bloods. Unless you was in jail with me, of course. Because then we need you, blood. Because the criminals tear our ass up. You know what I'm saying? We need you, blood.
Like you said, it took pain to climb.
Exactly.
When did the Inglewood family start identifying with the red handkerchiefs?
Probably somewhere between 74 and 76. I had a picture one time. I know me and my homeboy Nasty Ed.
Nasty Ed, Inglewood family. He's the same way. Ed Liskell. The boy was little. Man, I could see how he had this kind of heart, but he had it. Claim to the fullest.
We had went to Western Surplus and we had red beanies on, red suspenders, khaki suits, croaker sacks. So probably somewhere between 74 and 76.
Yeah. I think the question is, where in the 70s, where's that turning point?
Where like the second generation of villains were gangbangers. It was villains before they were gangbangers. Gangbangers came around maybe in like the late 70s, 77, 78, 79. That's when people became gangbangers.
I'm Triple OG Kojak. Beginning of time. Me, myself, and my right-hand man, which name was Taco, we started this.
93rd Street Gangster, Bebop Watts Blood, OG Cool.
It's a nice hat you got on. What
Yeah.
that hat?
You wearing that, man.
Yeah.
They had the name Bebop. Then the 89 families came and influenced them to be Bloods. That's like in the late 70s. You follow what I'm saying? But they was Bebops before they was Bloods. So you're talking to the first generation of Bebop, but we are the first generation of Bebop Watts Blood Gang.
Oh, and I really believe that it caught on real fast going from Compton down Central to the Nickerson Garden, down farther, and I'm telling you something else. Who else was claiming Blood real hard? And they pushed that line hard on Blood. And a lot of people don't give them their props, but I'm gonna give it to them. And that's the 89 family. I have heard of them in the 78 before I went to prison. I heard about some Bloods being down there on 89th. You know what I'm saying? Somewhere in that area.
But this history right here, this was 89th. This was 89th started at in this alley right here. This the shit right here. Right here. We still got shit from 1970s, from the 70s to the 80s to the 90s, still right now.
The family Swans.
I mean, cause at first it was 89 neighborhood. You know what I mean? That's where the neighborhood family shit come in at, you know what I mean? Come in at. With my G homies, man, they started that shit right here. It was a house back here. You can get that shit back here too.
We'll get it.
Yeah, it was a house back here, man. The alley, man, they had a shack back here, man. And the homies, man, they started the block. And it was on ever since after that.
You know what I'm saying? They pushed that real hard, the Blood thing. MSB, Family Swan Bloods.
It was always Mass Swan though, always. Motherfuckers get it fucked up, you're like, oh, 89 is different.
You know, or Family Main Street Swan Bloods.
All the homies was there. Me, Madman, and Sticks was a pallbearer.
I heard, before I even met the Swans and the family, I have heard around 78 that they had some Bloods over there in that area. And when I say Bloods, I mean the word Bloods. That's what people were saying. My sister stayed on 84th and Avalon, right over there where Little Tweak stayed at, right? So I was hearing all this about the Bloods this and the Bloods that.
They originated in the 1970s as the Main Street Swans. The Swans hold a unique position because their territory is completely surrounded by rival Crip gangs. Their neighborhood stretches from 75th Street to Manchester, between San Pedro and Central Avenue. They are allied with the family Swan Bloods, who are located to the south of them.
Then they push that real hard.
I live in a neighborhood, according to statistics, with the #1 murder rate of the whole gang. They gonna look bad. That ain't me saying it.
Yeah,
that's
right.
statistics.
Yeah.
Right? They gonna put it. They gonna put it in somewhere.
I heard that in the documentary for sure. They read that was a statistic.
Yeah, that's statistics.
So the 8-9 families was the killers, and that's why Kojak fuck with them more.
You see, in order to be a blood, you have to have a comrade from another neighborhood.
Bebop family Swan, you know, I was pushing.
Yes, sir. Yes,
One
sir.
neighborhood, that's how it was.
Yes, indeed.